Well, I grew up actually in Los Angeles, and I grew up with my father, Jerry London, who's a director, and he directed such great projects like Shogun and lots of miniseries and television shows. And so I grew up always being around sets, and I always had a huge interest in actors, and I loved actors. And what happened was, I was funny that I always used to read magazines and I'd tear out articles about actors, and I just had a definite affinity for them. And so what happened was, I was working on a pilot as a production assistant, and those casting directors that were actually casting the project offered me a job as a casting assistant, and that's how I got started. And it just seemed sort of like a natural thing for me, because I always really, really loved being with actors and knowing actors, and it was just kind of my thing. You know, there's a certain quality that those guys all had, and it's called really an it factor. And when people talk about an it factor and you go, what's an it factor? It's just some natural instinct that these actors all had. It's either in comedy, it's their personality, it's in drama, there's some factor, there's this it factor that kind of permeates who they really are. And all of those guys had it. They all had it. And you know, that's what it is. Okay, well, I've had a number of those over the years, because I've been doing this a very long time. But I've done a number of movies for Adam Sandler's company, and one of the movies that I really enjoyed casting was Grandma's Boy. It was so much fun to cast, and it has to do, when you're casting a project, with the whole team, because casting is a very team group sort of, everybody works together. And it was just really fun. That was great. The producers were really great. The director was great. It was just really a fun atmosphere. And also, as a casting director, you get to really bring what your idea is to the role, right? You get to bring your ideas and your thoughts to the role, and then you go along. It's like collaborative, right, with the director and the producer and how they see things. But sometimes you see things and you bring something that they didn't expect, and it's completely different, and it's spontaneous. And on that movie, Grandma's Boy, I had met Jonah Hill, and I met him for this part, and I thought, God, he's not really right for this part, but I really saw that he had this amazing comedic timing. He's so funny. And so I told the producer, you're going to meet this guy, and he's not right for this part, but you got to put him in the movie. And he met him and said, yep, that's it, and they gave him a part. So that's what I like. That was one of my favorites to cast. But I've done many others over the years. I mean, Hannah Montana was really fun to cast, because we got to search all over the country to find the part that Miley got. You know, we searched everywhere across the country. We got videos from everywhere. We saw over 1,000 girls for that role. And you know, that's a really fun, that was a great experience, because it's very challenging when you have to find that, but it's so much fun, because when you do and you get it, it's so exciting. And the fact that we discovered her and she became a superstar, that's amazing.
That is amazing.
The best advice that I could give you is, well, I have a few things that I would say. The best advice I would say is you have to have persistence in this business. You can't give up because somebody says no, or somebody says, oh, you have to change your hair color, or you need to do this. You can't give up. The best advice I can say is persist. If that's your dream and that's your passion, you have to go for it, and you can't let anybody stop you on your path to pursue that dream.
Oh, great. All right, one last question is, what do you enjoy the most about casting?
My favorite thing about casting is discovering new talent and that I get to help actors. You know, I'm definitely a casting director who loves actors, and I love helping actors. And my favorite thing is when I find I'd either discover new talent, or let's say I find an actor that you wouldn't normally think of for that role, and you put him in that part that you didn't think. Like it's something completely opposite of maybe what you thought he would play. And that's my favorite thing, because I just really have always loved actors, and I love helping them, and I want them to succeed. So when they succeed, I succeeded too. And that makes me happy. Well, Adrian R'Mante, who's coming in to talk to you guys soon, he auditioned for me for the role of the bellboy in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and he was so dang funny. He's just so great. So I helped get him that job on the show. And also House Bunny. I did the movie House Bunny. I've done a number of movies for Adam Sandler's company, Happy Madison, and we did House Bunny, which Catherine McPhee from American Idol got her first job, her first movie role. And Rumor Willis was in that movie, and Emma Stone, who is so fantastic and has done a bunch of movies since then. So those are a few of the other ones that I helped cast in that movie. Okay, so the way the casting process works is we read a script, and then we have a meeting with the producer and director and see what they're looking for in terms of talent and their concept of the role. And then we read people, and we look at the talent and see who really embodies that character and what they bring to the role. And then we take the talent that we feel best fits the role to the producer and the director, and then they read the people, and then as a team effort, as a team group, we all decide who should get cast for the part.
Good. What do you look for in an actor when they are auditioning for one of your projects?
The main things that I look for when I'm auditioning actors is, are they prepared? And being prepared really means not just knowing your material, but it's really doing your homework and doing your research. What kind of project are you going in on? Are you reading for the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody? Or are you reading for The Office? What kind of comedy is it? You know, what kind of project is it? Are you reading for a drama or a movie, a big movie for a director, for Gary Marshall, for example? You really want to do your homework. That's what's really important. You know, doing your research, knowing the kind of project it is, and knowing the producers and directors and who's involved and what kind of projects they've done before, because then you can really know the tone of what kind of show it is or what kind of movie it is. And also making a choice. That's really important. It's deciding for yourself, what's this character really about, what's the scene about, and what am I going to do with it? And how am I going to bring myself and who I really am into that character and make it interesting. The best advice I would say for new actors who are starting out in the business is to get in a class. Get in a good class, a class where you can, do some improv, learn about comedic moments, do some drama, because that's really good and it gets you more confidence in yourself. So I would say definitely get in a class, and also I would say watch television, watch your shows, watch your shows on Nick, watch your shows on Disney. Do your homework, because it's important in this business so that you are a well-rounded actor. The more you know, the better you're going to do.